Your Honor, my name is Shauna Fortune. My only child was on the bus and a survivor of the horrific tragedy of November 14th, 2023, caused by Jacob McDonald. Today, I am here speaking out as a mom for the moms who can no longer speak for themselves. On that day, everything changed for the 6 families, for all the families, for our family, for our community. A fully loaded semi-truck carrying batteries, a massive and dangerous vehicle plowed through multiple vehicles without any attempt to stop, without any attempt to slow down, without any attempt to swerve, without any attempt to avoid. The destruction was instant. The chaos was absolute, and the trauma and the loss are permanent. Your Honor, you made a statement during the hearing of the verdict. You said something about it could happen to any of us, or it could happen to all of us. Driving on the highway, we look at other things, our minds wander, we look at our phones, we turn on the air, we look away. We're not always 100% looking at the road. Well, the fact that 6 people died and many were injured that day speaks to the magnitude of what happened. It wasn't just a mistake. It wasn't just distraction. It wasn't just stupidity. It wasn't just ignorance. It was preventable. A person behind the wheel of a machine that large, going over 70 miles per hour on an interstate, carries a responsibility beyond the ordinary, beyond the rest of us. They should be held to a higher standard. We understand the court found his actions were not reckless, but negligent. For the court, for the defense, this case was about semantics. For the court, these words seem so clear, they seem so small, but the consequences were massive. The crash didn't just kill, it shattered families. It traumatized witnesses. It left survivors with injuries that will never heal, physically or emotionally. We still relive the moment that we got the FaceTime call from our son, who was thankfully not physically injured. We saw the smoke. We heard the explosions. Those batteries were like little bombs. We yelled at him to get away from the bus. We watched him fall apart because, in his words, it's so bad. It's so bad. Later that day, my son said to me, "I thought I was going to die today." We sat with Shannon's son at the church as he paced and he worried and he repeated, "I can't get a hold of my mom. I can't get a hold of my mom." His shock and fear were transparent. We still had hope that she was okay. But she wasn't okay, Mr. McDonald. We didn't know that she was killed until hours later. Do you know why, Mr. McDonald? Do you know why it was hours before they confirmed her death? Because they didn't even know there was a vehicle between your truck and the bus until they pulled your truck away. That night, Shannon's son texted my son and said, "Hug your mom tonight and tell her that you love her, because I can't hug my mom." We have watched him for the past year and a half missing her, needing to hug her. We see the pain in his eyes and my son's eyes. And you caused it, Mr. McDonald, you and you alone. Whatever you were doing. But you don't remember what you were doing, do you, Mr. McDonald? You know, that's what the criminals say. I don't remember. Have you heard that while you've been in the Licking County Jail, Mr. McDonald? Because cowardly criminals deny what they've done and conveniently don't remember the crime. They remember every other detail, but they forget the crime. Have you heard the criminals say that while you've been in jail? Because you are just like them. You are a criminal. You did this. You caused this. Your actions, your recklessness, your ignorance, your stupidity caused it. I hope you relive this every day, Mr. McDonald. I hope your future is sad. I have been to every court hearing and I've watched you. You have showed no remorse, Mr. McDonald, nothing. I'm sure your lawyer instructed you not to speak because that is the coward that both he and you are. Shame on you. Shame on you for causing so much death and destruction and voicing no remorse. Your Honor, there is no sentence, no judgment today that will bring back the people we lost. There is no sentence that will bring back my son's innocence and trust in the world. There is no sentence that will bring Shannon back to her children. We ask the court to consider the real weight of this tragedy, not just as a case that, according to the defense, should have never been in front of this court. Consider it not just as another case, but as lives destroyed and a community devastated. We want accountability. We want responsibility. And we want change so that no other family or community has to live through this pain. Months ago, Your Honor, we thought you could be it. You could be the change. You could be the judge who ruled in favor of the victims, the dead, the wounded. We had hoped you had the courage to make the difficult decision to weigh the evidence, to consider the tragedy, to consider the consequences of Jacob McDonald's actions, to make a statement to the justice system, to take the risk of this case being turned over with appeal, to consider the loss despite the legal language. We had hoped that you would have the courage to make a ruling to influence or inspire legislative change, to make an example of drivers like Jacob McDonald. You had the opportunity to bring an inadequate law to a crossroads, to draw a legal line in the sand, but you didn't, Your Honor. You let it slip through the cracks. You chose to make this case about semantics and to enable the defendant's crimes. Weakness, not courage, was shown by the court, Your Honor. We still believe in the power of the justice system to create meaningful change, but it won't be with this court. We shall turn to more competent means to make change and to make an example of Jacob McDonald. The Tusky Valley Six will not have died in vain. Thank you for hearing my words and for honoring the memory of those who are no longer here to speak for themselves.
Thank you.